exchanges between Shad Khan and Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
That was okay. But I even tweeted, I said, hey, this might have been my expectation. We've seen it. Mike Silver did something, I think last year, maybe 2 years prior, where he was basically behind the scenes of like almost every pick and kind of how it went down. I was anticipating a little bit more of that. Also shows you, though, whether you think like maybe Hard Knocks or something else. So the Jags were willing to invite some of the national media in. They get a little bit of a glimpse, but they couldn't get all the way in.
Yeah.
And so it kind of was like, okay, Urban doesn't mind the coverage. Urban's going to be transparent, but he's not going to let you sit next to him in the war room, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know where that's going to go, but just that's an early example of it because I thought that's where this was going. And, again, if you go back to Urban Meyer, you look at the Florida days and the Ohio State days, I mean, he welcomed ESPN in with open arms because I think the college guys really thought that helped recruiting. Well, I think there are some things that Urban's taken with him in terms of the marketing of the Jags to that level. Hard Knocks or something like that, we'll see. But I don't know how to read it exactly, but those are some of my thoughts on it. And I thought we might get another interesting nugget out of the ETN pick or the Dyson Campbell pick from some of the folks that were here across the country covering the Jags, and I didn't really feel that. I will say this. I misunderstood where Peter King was. I thought he was going to be here on draft night. He was actually here on the Friday, so he, hopped around.
Sure.
So he was here for the Trevor Lawrence arrival day, so that played it out a little bit different, too. Go back to the Trevor Lawrence arrival day, and I think Peter King did have something in his column about, like a kid asked if Trevor's hair is real.
Yeah.
And he handled that, really well, he said. Sure. But I was following Trevor Lawrence when he was meeting with the kids, the third graders, on the arrival. And then once we got through the gates, he was, I don't know, about 5 steps in front of me because we were going to do an interview shortly after, but he had to go get a COVID test.
Okay.
And so I was going live on Twitter during, his arrival.
Sure. And
we were kind of just following the whole scene. And I heard him say, and I don't think it was that audible on the video, but he kind of turned to his wife, Marissa, as they entered the gates. He's like, that was very cool.
Oh, cool.
It was like this genuine moment of, it was pretty neat that the kids were out there to greet me and say hello to them. And I thought that was kind of neat moment, this subtle moment that people won't pick up on. I thought it was kind of neat.
Yeah, it's always cool that when you get introduced as a franchise, you're taking it all in, really your first time in Jacksonville, and you essentially go to the place of business where you're going to be at for, the next 4+ years, hopefully, and you are greeted by, just a bunch of kids, man. And let's be honest, kids don't care about the contracts. All they care about is Trevor Lawrence, the NFL player, and what you're all about. So that's always a cool introduction, in my opinion, to get the kids involved.
This Kuz hit the wrong button, so our feed went out for a second, but we're back.
Nice.
I'll blame Kuz. Kuz, he says, don't worry, I'll take care of this. I'm like, well, if you don't, I don't know who's
going to.
No, yeah,
because we're still not going to do it from over here, man. So, yeah, it's all on you.
So thank you, Kuz. Appreciate it. NBA, real quick. Do you like the play-in game or no?
No, I think it's ridiculous.
The whole tournament. It's not in a game, really. It's a tournament now.
It's a cash grab. That's all it is.
It's State Farm, I think, cash grab.
If you want to go to the no, for sure. If you want to go to the playoffs, then win during the regular season. Simple as that. Enough said.
Kuz,
see, I completely disagree. I thoroughly like the play-in tournament because you get the teams that are in the 6th and 7th spot that just kind of stop playing at the end of the season because they're good. Now this makes them all compete from the 6th seed all the way down to the 10th seed to the very last game. They're going to be competing as hard as they can. You're going to get good basketball at the end of the season.
Okay, but to me, the whole point of the playing games was because of COVID and then that bubble because some teams didn't have a fair shake. Now that that's over, you're essentially saying, all right, guys, well, we're going to keep this rule going because it was good for ratings and it was good for endorsements, so let's keep this thing rolling. I get what you're saying, Kuz, where some teams have to, put the pedal to the floor a little more because they got to make that playoff spot. But, at the same time, I mean, there's a dog by us. I got a little distracted. There's just a dog.
Yeah, Sally's.
Okay, do we know who Sally is?
Nope.
Just hanging out?
Sally's hanging out.
Okay, anyways, yeah. So, long story short, no, I'm not for the playoff game. Sorry, there's just a dog just hanging out by us.
So, Kuz, this is a little bit different than last year when you had to be within 3 games, right, to get into the play-in. Now this is we're doing it. It doesn't matter if you're 3 games. It's 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes,
and they'll square off to figure out who the 7th and 8th team is.
Well,
does it still work where the 9th? where somebody's going to have to beat somebody twice if they're trying to catch up.
So what'll end up happening, from my understanding, is the 8 and 9 or 9 and 10 or 8 and 9 play each other, and then whoever wins that goes on to the next one, and 8 and 7 will play each other, and then the winner of those two will go on to play each other depending on who gets the 8th seed or the 7th seed, and we'll have to play the 1 seed or the 2 seed.
Yeah. It's really 7 and 8, and then 9 and 10, and then the winner plays the loser of the 7 and 8, and then that's the determiner of who gets the 7 and 8 seed. So
I don't know, man. Like I think they did it last year. We talked about this a little bit because they wanted to see Zion get to the playoffs. So like they try to help propel him in there. Now that the bubble's done and we're getting back to a sense of normalcy, if you will. It's extra basketball. It's a cash grab, and there's no way a 9 or 10 or whatever seed is going to go to the championship. So then why are we worrying that type of team?
Because there's a potential right now that the Lakers could be in this play-in tournament if they continue losing. So
the Lakers had injuries, and that's what you get.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is that could create a really interesting storyline for NBA fans. You get the Lakers literally fighting for their lives just to get into the playoffs when they're the reigning champs.
I'm going to tell you this. I actually do like it. I like the idea of it. I think sports fans, and maybe it's just not America, like tournaments, right? Like the tournament feel. And so I think this gives it more of like a bracket tournament feel than even the playoffs do, because that's more like a series feel, which it is. I mean, that's what a series is. So this gives you more of the one-and-done kind of feel going into the playoffs, and I think people like that. I think we're going to like this. I think this is going to be better than people think. And, yes, it is a cash grab, no doubt. It's also an attention grab. It gives us something to debate a little bit going into the playoffs. I think overall, though, this is going to be a good thing, and I think it's going to be something that sticks.
It's funny.
Should the NFL do it?
Ooh.
Might as well, right? If you're all about this, get the NFL to do it. Play-in games for the playoffs.
They didn't do that, but they did add a 7th team.
But I'm saying, should there be a tournament-style bracket, a cash grab, if you will, for the NFL?
I think the timing of it would be a lot more difficult, but I don't know if I'd hate it either. Listen, people didn't like the idea of wild cards in baseball for the longest time. Like, they didn't like the concept of it. Now we live by it. I mean, it gives your Milwaukee Brewers a chance in the tough NL Central.
They're in first place right now, sir. We are not worried about that. Nice try, though.
But I do think people like the wild card now, and I think this is something that's going to go over better than others think. I do believe that. We'll see. Still a little more hoop talk a little bit later. We got football at 5 coming up. Let's do it next. We are live at the ballpark, 121 Financial Ballpark, home of the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. It's season opening nights here in minor league baseball, and right here in Jacksonville, you can listen to it on ESPN 690.
Boss, you're not going to believe what I found on the internet.
What, the moon is hollow?
No, not that. This. I just did a search and found yard signs for alarm systems for sale.
What? Just the sign? Just, without the security system?
Yeah. Look, you can get a big blue alarm sign for about $25. Ooh, delivered tomorrow.
They must not give a flip about their reputation.
Or their real customers.
Right. I bet you can't find a SafeTouch security sign on that thing.
Boss, SafeTouch wouldn't be involved in something like this.
Nope. When you see a SafeTouch sign, you know it's the real McCoy.
Right. The two-way communicator, the guaranteed response time.
Which is exactly why we always stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from SafeTouch houses. Now, let's go find us some fake signs.
Crooks know to stay away from SafeTouch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven. It's time for some straight talk. Sure, saving money feels good, but cutting your wireless bill in half? That feels really good. Like walk-off home run in the 9th inning kind of good. Okay, maybe not that good, but pretty darn good. With Straight Talk, you can get 25 gigs of high-speed data for $45 a month, up to 50% less than the other guys. Plus, no contract. All on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot when you can pay half? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Opening day at the ballpark? It's always been something to celebrate. But this year, after everything, this opening day may be the best one ever. That's why Jackson Mills Hometown Credit Union, One-to-One Financial, and Jackson Mills Home Team, the Jumbo Shrimp, invite everyone to join us May 4th for opening day. Welcome back, baseball. Welcome back, Jacksonville. Welcome back to opening day, May 4th, from One-to-One Financial, a bright path forward.
Oh, pollen season is still hanging around. I'll take care of my allergies, but who's going to take care of keeping my truck clean? I've been going to Prime Car, full service interior and exterior. And while you wait, spacious lounges, even child-friendly lounges, Starbucks coffee, iPads, Wi-Fi. Before you know it, your car or truck is cleaned. I went to the Beach Boulevard location, and there's one on San Jose as well. Give it a try. You can even get a membership. Let Prime Car Wash take care of your vehicle. Prime Car Wash. Clean inside, clean outside.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Eastern Conference showdown between the Nets and Bucks among the highlights tonight on the NBA schedule. Led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, Milwaukee won by 3 on Sunday. One adjustment for Brooklyn tonight involves Giannis, while another frees up Kyrie Irving more, explains ESPN NBA reporter Malika Andrews.
Drew Holiday was incredibly successful locking him down in that last game, so they're trying to make some adjustments there. And in terms of guarding Giannis Antetokounmpo was able to hit some three-pointers, some mid-range jumpers in that last game that they're going to live with, potentially a little bit more than they would like to if he's hitting those shots again tonight, but they want to make some adjustments there.
In the East, Philly leads Brooklyn by a game, Milwaukee by 3.5. NFL former Steelers offensive tackle Alejandro Villanueva signed with the rival Ravens. $14 million, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. He'll replace the recently traded Orlando Brown Jr.
The next generation of paint protection is here. New 303 graphene nanospray coating will provide up to 12 months of professional level protection, insane water beating, and jaw-dropping shine with one simple application. Visit 303radio.com for more information.
Janae and WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I love Luke. I love his family. He is a +2 mentality all the way. He is a worker, a grinder, and to see him where he is at from where he came, he's brilliant, by the way, and he's tough. You know, he's not the pass-catching tight end, but, you know, one way to also help a young quarterback is to have a, this is always, if you ever looked at our young quarterbacks when they would play, the number one way to help a young quarterback is have a successful run game. You know, not be a one-dimensional, let the defensive ends in this NFL come taking swings at you every down. So that's why we took Chris Manhertz, and that's why we took Luke Farrell. You know, to be creative in some of the run game formations. That's why we have Carlos Hyde added to James Robinson.
That is Urban Meyer over the weekend, and that is a little bit of a look at how they plan to protect Trevor Lawrence and put him in a position to be successful. There's a lot in that quote right there. And one jumps out at you like, oh, yeah, another one, another tight end, not a pass-catching tight end. Great. But that's what the headline is. But the underbelly of that is so many people we've talked to over the last few months is how can they make this guy successful, protect him, don't let what happened to Joe Burrow happen, don't get beat up. Well, there's two ways to do that. You have a good offensive line. Hopefully your offensive line plays well. I think the Jags' offensive line's pretty good. I don't know how great it is, and those tackles certainly have to play better. But they do have a running game, and the running game can certainly alleviate some of the problems or pressure of a defense. And I think Urban just led on to that. We're going to put this guy in a position to be successful, run the football a little bit, put him in play-action situations, hopefully third and manageable kind of situations. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Brent, no kidding, man. Everybody does that. I get it. But I think the idea that he said it shows me there will be a concentration to do that and not just drop this guy back 50 times a game and get hammered, you know? And there was a little bit of that if you look back at the Blaine Gabberts and even the Bortles, and I don't even think they dropped back necessarily 40 to 50 times, but early on, their offensive lines were so abysmal that they just got shell-shocked. I mean, they got absolutely hammered in the early days. And I think they have to do all they can to protect Trevor Lawrence from that for two reasons. Not because he can't handle it. He probably has a mental toughness to be able to handle it.
Sure.
But you want to keep him healthy.
Yep.
And you want to keep him confident.
Yeah.
And as confident as possible. And I don't care who you are. You have Tom Brady. Tom Brady has been – the times that he's been vulnerable, those Giants games, is when he's been getting hit. Patrick Mahomes looked average almost in the Super Bowl. Why? Because he was getting hit. And so Trevor Lawrence, for confidence and health purposes, the Jags need to run the football, and they need to protect him. And I think the running game certainly helped that. So I think there is a subtle – there's some context to what Urban Meyer says there that shows you what they're going to try to do in the fall offensively.
No, and I agree with you wholeheartedly here. You know, I don't want to check the box score, every Sunday night and see Trevor Lawrence rush for, 10 times. Like, you don't want to see that, especially as a rookie. And I think when we look at this offense right now, is it exciting? Yes, there's a lot of pieces to like. You bring in ETN. I get all of that. But I'm under the philosophy right now that you can't afford to get in too many track meets quite yet because you don't know what you have first. You got Urban Meyer's new scheme, his new philosophy. It's going to take some time to ingrain it wholeheartedly and get everybody on the same page. So with that being said, not only do you have to pump the brakes a little bit and slow everything down, but you can also run the ball and control the time of possession, which obviously is important in the game of football, especially when you got a young team. Well, shouldn't say young team, but you got a lot of new pieces on your team that have to get acclimated to playing with each other.
I agree. I do think back to – I just tweeted out, said, hey, it was a rough start for Bortles and Gabbert in Jacksonville from a pressure – I mean, they must have hit the cold tub quite a bit.
Yeah.
And Gabbert appeared to get rattled and shell-shocked. Bortles, I thought did a better job with that, and he could manage that better than Gabbert did. But the bottom line is they both were not put in a position to be successful.
Correct.
And then add to that, and so just so you don't get me wrong here, as we are live from the ballpark, Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Night, opening night in minor league baseball here on ESPN 690. I'm not trying to compare Trevor Lawrence to those guys because the other caveat about this is he's way better than them, right? He's a better quarterback than those guys coming into the NFL. And so if you can already put them in a position to be successful because their offense is better than those offenses were, their offensive line is better than those offensive lines were, they probably have better offensive coaches than those offensive coaches were at the time, and then you add that this guy's just a flat-out better player anyway, well, I think there's a chance for him to have a very successful first year. I have a hard time kind of putting numbers to that, what that looks like. But I've been very bullish on the fact that Trevor Lawrence is set up not so bad here in Jacksonville for a 1-15 team. I think he's going to have a nice first year in the NFL. I don't know if it's Herbert kind of good, but I don't think it's Peyton Manning kind of bad.
True.
And I don't even know how – I think it's closer to Herbert kind of good than it is Peyton Manning kind of bad is my point.
No, absolutely, because I think we both share the philosophy that, hey, this team could win some games this year, at least more than last year. So if we put them in the 5 to 6, win range, like that's going to regard Trevor Lawrence having, a decent year and winning some games. Look what Justin Herbert did last year. Justin Herbert had a hell of a rookie year. But how many games did he win? Not that many. Right now,
6 and 10.
I think they went 6 and 10. Now, granted, they lost a lot of nail biters. I think they lost a few in overtime, but they only won 6 games, and that was Justin Herbert playing lights out. Well, if we assume this team is going to win 6 games with a new defense, with a bunch of new defensive players on that side of the ball, well, then, yeah, it's got to be the Trevor Lawrence show a little bit. And I think if it can be, then, yeah, he can kind of echo what Justin Herbert did and get some wins.
I just saw this headline from Adam Schefter, and I'll have a thought on it in a moment, but let me read it to you. Broncos' Jawan James he's an offensive tackle, suffered a season-ending torn Achilles working out today away from the team facility per sources. James' $10 million salary for the upcoming season now in jeopardy, being that Denver no longer is obligated to pay him working out off-site.
Man.
So bummer for him, bummer for the Broncos. The first thing that crossed my mind, the Jags draft Walker Little.
Yeah.
Would there be any potential possibility a team like the Broncos call the Jags about a Cam Robinson, even under the franchise tag?
Yeah.
Like, if you're the Broncos, do you start shopping around, and would you call about that?
I mean, you have to, right?
I don't
at this
know.
point.
That's again. I mean, I just saw this, and that's like first entered my mind.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I would. I wouldn't feel that comfortable parting with Cam Robinson until I see Walker Little again. This guy hadn't played football in 2 years, but I just wonder if a team like the Broncos would maybe even pick up the phone and give a call if they really want to fix.
I mean, it's possible, but then once again, we're talking about what would you actually get for Cam Robinson if you were to do that, and let's keep in mind, how comfortable do you feel throwing out a guy in Walker Little who hasn't played in 2 years, and now he's protecting the most important part of the franchise, and Trevor Lawrence is protecting his blind side. I wouldn't feel the best with that game one. Now, maybe Walker Little can eventually work his way into the starting lineup, whether it is left tackle or right tackle. But where I sit right now saying, hey, I'm confident with Walker Little being the starting left tackle for your Jacksonville Jaguars and protecting Trevor Lawrence's blind spot, not sure about that quite yet, Brent.
Yeah, we'll see all about it. Hey, tomorrow we're going to be live at Cantina Louie on Monument Road. There's a couple locations, so make sure you know it's Monument Road. Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, Action Sports Shacks, ESPN 690. Along with Vita de Louie, we will be at Cantina Louie on Monument Road. Come check it out, 3 to 6, and you can win some prizes, and there's some taste testing going on as well. Not for us, but probably right next to us. So come check it out. It'll be a little bit of a party going on at Cantina Louie, Monument Road tomorrow afternoon. Please make sure to stop by. We'll have some fun out there. And, again, you can win some prizes as well. And with that being said, this segues right into a wonderful Tuesday afternoon edition of the Happy Hour Horn.
The good vibes. Taste the islands and every drop of Vida de Louis tequila. 100% blue agave from Tequila, Mexico. Good vibes. It's a celebration.
VitaDeLuis.com, the place to go. Where can you get a bottle of Vida de Louis tequila? Locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Comes from Tequila, Mexico. VitaDeLuis.com. Pick up a bottle of Añejo, Reposado, and Blanco. Smooth going down. Vida de Louis tequila. Once again, come on out to Monument Road tomorrow. Cantina Louis, Cinco de Mayo. We'll have some Vida de Louis on hand for you. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690 hits the road once again tomorrow afternoon. Today, we're at the ballpark, 121 Financial Ballpark, Bragan Field, the baseball grounds. Yeah, that's where we're at. Norfolk Tides taking some infield right now. They'll have some batting practice. The Jumbo Shrimp already did that. We got a ball game tonight. Minor League Baseball begins after a year hiatus and even a month delay to this season. The Jumbo Shrimp are ready to roll. They've got the bunting up for opening day. AAA debut for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. And once again, you can listen to the Jumbo Shrimp games right here on ESPN 690. Pregame starts at 6:50 coming up tonight.
Is that bunting? Is that like the flags up?
Yeah, that's the red, white, and blue flags.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. I wonder, obviously that's old as old can get, right?
Sure.
I mean, if you go back and look at some old games, that bunting's all over the place. And that's kind of a neat tradition that is followed, I think, opening day baseball and maybe like all-star game baseball.
Cool.
Some special events in baseball. Have no idea what the origin of that is, though.
Okay. Have we established any cool days that the Shrimp have coming up yet?
They probably have a lot of cool days.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, I haven't heard any of the big showstoppers yet. I'm sure they're out there on the interwebs. But usually, I think the Florida Man was like 2 years ago now or 3 years ago.
That would have been, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a big one for them. So I'm curious to see what they have planned for this year.
Yeah, they have plenty of promotions, no doubt. So come on. Tonight's sold out.
Yeah, so come out if you have tickets. If not.
Tonight's sold out. Do want to pass that along. Now, the rest of the homestand through the weekend is not sold out, so you can come get tickets. By the way, you can win tickets as well. Go to ESPN690.com and the contest page. You can win tickets to the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. What I'm really interested to see baseball-wise is what's the level of play look like? I mean, listen, we said this earlier. I said it off camera. I think one of the hardest things to do, I think being a scout would be tough in baseball and probably in a lot of sports, but what's the separator? Like, what is this quality of baseball, this AAA baseball going to look better than it did to the fan last year or 2 years ago now at the AA level? I'm not sure. I don't know. So some of the best stars in minor league baseball, the guys that were going to get called up, often resided in Double-A baseball.
True.
So Sixto Sanchez for the Marlins was here in Jacksonville, not in New Orleans at the Triple-A affiliate in years past. But I do think because the way the structure has changed a little bit, some minor league teams are no longer existing. Also, the COVID world. I think we're getting a lot of the quality players up here at the AAA level. Remember, this was an alternate site for the Miami Marlins as well.
Mm-hmm.
So see the style of play and what that looks like if it's noticeable to the average fan. I would say it's probably not.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really hard. Like, I watch these guys taking. I'm like, well, that guy looks like a AAA ball player. No, you don't say that. That's my point, right? I mean, these guys could all play in the big leagues, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they all look like outstanding ball players. I'm a baseball guy, and I just can't tell that. I can't see the separator at this level, and I don't know how the scouts do it. I think, obviously, the numbers tell the story. I think the analytics of it all come into play there.
Speaking of scouts, and you being the former baseball player and I'll being the former collegiate baseball player, Brent, if we were to go in that batting cage right now, and let's say that we give you 10 cracks at it, as they say in the biz. We talking warning track power here or not?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
But not the center.
Didn't think twice. Oh, yeah, warning track power.
Yeah, I get
okay.
it. I'll get one to the – I can get one to the warning track. I mean, it's 317 down the right field line. I can do that.
Okay. I mean, are we talking about doing some yard work in
yard
some
work?
yard work?
I only have 2 in my life, and they were both in fall league, so I would not put my money on a home run.
Okay.
Although I am a former Derby champ from walk-off charities. The fences were in.
I've seen the trophy.
So, yeah, I would say – plus the wind's blowing in a little bit right now.
Oh, here come the excuses.
I would say – I'm just being honest. I can get to the warning track. I don't know about as much on the getting out of here.
Okay.
Although, pitching the tie over the last few years – I've learned a lot about the swing.
Sure.
And so now I'd probably get better extension than I once did.
I like that.
I just don't know if the glutes will activate the way they used to.
Well, I was going to say, but you've been staying in shape, though, right? You've been doing your deadlifts and all that stuff, the cores engaged.
I was kind of until the last couple of weeks.
Okay. Well, then maybe we'll give you a month.
Too many bunt cakes. Because I might like to bunt. There you go.
I got you.
Instead of hit the home run.
Hey, any way you can get on, right?
All right. Let's go to the phones right now and see what the fishing is like out there on a Tuesday afternoon. We're bringing in Rick Riles with the Fishing Report, Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. What's happening, Rick? We got some baseball here. What do you have going on?
Brent, I'm doing fine. Everything's going good. Incidentally, I may be the only person on this phone line right now that's throwing a pitch off of that mound. That's what I'm saying.
I don't. Did you throw a first pitch one time?
Well, some people called it a first pitch. I kind of thought it was a tryout.
High stakes.
And incidentally, I threw a cutter at about 89 miles an hour.
Yeah, very good. I have, by the way, I have thrown a first pitch out here before in my in Jacksonville on this mound, and I will say I was a little nervous, but I'm also going to tell you that I delivered. Like
strike?
I threw a strike. Like
okay.
I threw George Bush kind of strike in Yankee Stadium kind of. That's what. Now mine was a little less significant, but I did throw a strike.
Well, I have to tell you, after I did that, I got asked to do a class on fishing, teach a class at the University of Florida for a night. I mean, it was a seminar. And I told the guys there, I said, you have no idea what is that I retired from my baseball career to go teach at the University of Florida. So, those are my claims to fame. Pretty good day today. In fact, I'd call it a stellar day today. A little windy, a little rougher on the cobia boats inshore, the smaller boats, although there are a number of cobia along the rips and along the beaches. A lot of them are undersized, but they're on the manta rays, and there are quite a few of them. Just talked to Captain Robert Johnson. He's steaming home on the Jody Lynn, too. They've got a nice box mahi. He said about 20 head of mahi, and said most of the boats today had between 15 and 20 head, and most of them are good fish. So that's really good news on that front. David Borey said the redfish were tough today inshore, but they got it done. He said the fish are not up shallow yet. They're still holding in between 12 and 20 feet of water. Brett, I see a couple of really good days on the forecast for us. I think Thursday in particular is the day that the guys need to take off sick and go fishing. But we're going to be back to talk about it tomorrow with another fishing report brought to you by Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing.
Rick, thanks very much. Ice that arm for tomorrow's broadcast, please.
Take care of that mound for me, Brent. Thank you, boys.
You got it. That is Rick Riles with your Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. Don't forget, you can check that out every day right here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690, 515, plus 7 in the morning. Catch Rick talking fishing until 9 a.m. on Saturday mornings right here on ESPN 690. Some signing days going on. Bishop Kenny had a signing day. We'll show you that tonight on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Do want to remind you, we carried over our Honda the Avenue's Athlete of the Week poll an extra few days because of the draft craziness. So you can vote until tomorrow on ESPN690.com for the Honda the Avenue's Athlete of the Week. We'll have some new nominees out on Thursday as well. We got batting practice going on. It's Norfolk. It's the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. We got some baseball in town. Remember, sold out tonight, but back at it tomorrow. It's an afternoon game tomorrow at 1. Evening games coming up the next few days after that, and tickets are still available for the Jumbo Shrimp. If you can't catch a game, you can listen right here on ESPN 690. I got to ask you guys about Westbrook and Steph Curry. Let's take a break. We'll do that when we come back. Plus, walk-up songs in baseball. You better think about it because you got that question on the way as well. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690 on the road once again here at the ballpark on a beautiful night for baseball. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy tonight, only dropping to around 70. It'll be a hot and humid Wednesday of partly cloudy skies, shot at an afternoon shower or thunderstorm in some spots with highs near 90 degrees. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where now through Mother's Day, you can save thousands on that one-of-a-kind gift for Mom.
Need a good paying job with a flexible work schedule and benefits? A1A Solar is looking for you. $70,000 is a reasonable first-year expectation. Seasoned reps can easily make 6 figures. Leads provided to you as well. Health, dental, 401k benefits. A1A Solar is a tremendous company, voted best places to work in Jacksonville, and in 2016 was the Veteran-Owned Business of the Year. Be a part of an awesome company at A1A Solar. Just go visit A1ASolar.com. Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Culhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. Yeah, they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters Vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the south side. Culhane's Irish Pub, Irish Sass with 5-star class. I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now, Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 200 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Pregnancy can be an exciting time, but for many moms, it can mean feeling anxious, depressed, or confused. If you're experiencing this, connect with a mental health provider by visiting flbhimpact.org. This message is supported by the Health Resources and Services Administration, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Purchasing home and auto insurance? Do it the Simply way with Simply IOA. Compare quotes and buy a policy online or over the phone. Search Simply IOA or call 844-TALK-TO-SIMPLY. Simply IOA. Insurance the Simply way.
Just be confident. Just be valued. Just be totally zen. Community First makes smarter banking simple, easy, and convenient with better rates, fewer fees, and great digital tools so you can relax, confident that you're managing your money the right way, yours. Add an account today on your phone, tablet, or desktop at justbeyourself.com. That's justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Just be yourself. Federally insured by NCUA.
Spring is sprung, the air is warm, flowers are blooming, and the cigars are smoking. Cigars are smoking? That's right. Springtime means Stogie Fest at Aromas. A limited number of tickets are still available for the annual Stogie Fest event. Stogie Fest 2021 is May 14th through the 16th at Aromas off Southside Boulevard. Stogie Fest is for the cigar aficionado to the most occasional smoker. Join Action Sports Jacks at Stogie Fest Friday, May 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. for your chance to win a pair of Stogie Fest VIP tickets. Stogie Fest 2021, May 14th through the 16th.
Hello, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 7, understand attorney's fees. You've probably heard no fee guarantee, or you only pay if you win. This isn't some kind of special offer. Most injury attorneys are paid this way. We get paid this way. There are limits on what percentage attorneys can charge. Our firm charges you nothing, not even costs, unless you get money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Offices in Jacksonville and throughout Florida.
It is the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The golf club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family-owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the golf club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the golf club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? Being a member of the Air Force Reserve. It's doing a job that makes a difference, serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve. To find out about local job opportunities with the Air Force Reserve at MacDill Air Force Base or Eglin Air Force Base, call 800-257-1212 or go to afreserve.com. This message is sponsored by the Air Force Reserve, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
For the ones standing guard. For the eagle-eyed. For the knights in shining armor. And for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com/safety, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
The American Heart Association recommends that everyone get a flu vaccine, especially seniors, children, pregnant women, and people with underlying risk factors such as heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. For more, visit heart.org/flu prevention.
Sponsored locally by Florida Blue.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Brent Martineau. Then I said, still looking for his 4th career sack.
Austin Lane. I'm spending pretty much every single day with somebody for pretty much 2 years now that you know somebody. And they surprise you. I sit here before you right now, and I am surprised.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I like the opportunity. I mean, that's in front of us, and we have an opportunity to make this season mean something down the stretch because of the play and because of the opportunity of peaking at the right time. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of opinions on it, and we'll see how it plays out, but I'm with it.
That is Steph Curry. My goodness, is he on fire.
Yep.
So is Russell Westbrook.
Correct.
Doing things that are just bat bleep crazy.
I mean, talking about playoff run for the Washington Wizards.
I know. What's that say about Westbrook versus, say, Bradley Beal or somebody like that? They traded Beal, right?
No, he's still there.
No. Who'd they trade down to Houston?
In Houston? Harden?
No.
What do you mean? I don't.
Who left Washington this year?
John Wall.
Wall, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, what's it say about – I mean, John Wall's a very good player. I know he'd been hurt a little bit and all that stuff, but what's it say about the caliber player Westbrook is versus maybe a guy like Wall that Westbrook can come in and kind of deliver the way he's delivering right now. And they're still on the outside looking in, or they might be right in that play-in territory.
They're in the play-in, which is what.
But they'll be dangerous, man. You don't want to play them.
Well, and I would say the reason they're playing so well is because of that. Yes, they're close to the 8th seed, and it's just a few games there. But I think the reason we're seeing this kind of production from Westbrook right now is because they do have a legit shot to at least have a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, well, that will certainly be a motivator. You're right. It's a good call. It keeps you. It's a little carrot right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how bonkers is this right now? What Curry's doing? We wondered about it, right? Can Curry carry a team?
Yeah.
He is playing unbelievable.
Yes.
As good as Steph Curry's been in his career, it is ridiculous how good that he's playing. Listen, Golden State's not going to win the whole thing. They're not going to do that, but he's been that good. And again, Russell Westbrook. How big a story should this be right now in the NBA, in our sports world? I mean, we just got swallowed up by the draft here in Jacksonville, right? I mean, the amount of time I've spent watching and looking at NBA stuff, let's be honest, it's been minuscule.
Yeah.
But you can't avoid it with what Curry and what Westbrook are doing.
So with Steph Curry, I mean, and this has always kind of been the narrative about him, but you see it this year, the guy is basically unguardable. I mean, he's to the point now where he needs a split second with that release to get the shot off, and it's more than likely going in. He's gotten to the point where he's unguardable, where he's going to get his points. Doesn't matter who you put on him, Steph Curry will get his points. With Russell Westbrook, it's interesting because you felt like once he got traded, because it didn't work out with obviously Harden and Westbrook, the dynamic duo just never panned out to anything. And Harden goes to Washington. I assumed that he would get lost in the sauce. I assumed that he'd be a back page story. Okay, go finish out your career in Washington. Good luck with you. Have fun playing Bradley Beal. But let's be honest, we're not going to be talking about you in the playoffs or going to the championship. But what he's been able to do, we're talking like 20 rebounds and 20 assists. Doing the triple double. Like that just doesn't happen, Brent. And obviously it's got a lot to do with heart and intensity. But when it's all said and done. And it's going to happen when Russell Westbrook breaks the triple record double, or the triple double record. It begs the question: where is he going to fall in line of the greatest NBA players of all time?
I still think I love Russell Westbrook because I appreciate people who you can see the energy and effort on every play. Down 25, up 25, doesn't matter with him. And I think Curry is the same. See, I think these two guys are in the same breath of they are going to outwork you. And there's a lot of people, I've said this countless times, a bunch of people that can score 15, 16, 18 points in the NBA. A lot of people can do it. Heck, if you want to try to have a triple-double every night, you can probably try to do that if you're some of the upper echelon guys. Doncic, he could do it. LeBron, he could do it. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, he could do it. If they wanted to do it, Kevin Durant, they could do it. I just appreciate, forget about the numbers. We're talking about two guys that are playing lights out right now and doing special things. But I think what stands out to me when I watch those guys play is they are relentless, man. They have relentless effort. And let's be honest, the NBA, I can tell you this, Steph hates watching the NBA because she thinks it looks like they're not even trying half the time on defense.
Yeah, it's the regular season.
By the way, that's more of an old school kind of mentality about their NBA hit a low for a while. Yeah. I don't think that really exists anymore, but it got that kind of reputation sometimes where it looks like you're just casually playing.
And Steph, I'm sure Steph was a Jordan fan just like everybody else was, over Larry Bird, so I get where she's coming from for sure. And I get what you're saying here, Brett. To me, Steph Curry will always go down as one of the greatest just because he changed the game of basketball. He changed what we think is possible from that three-point shot and where you can essentially get that shot off. From Russell Westbrook, he changed the game too because he's really a guy that can do it all, obviously, and his triple-doubles would say that. But he's a guy that's got it done with effort on both sides of the floor sometimes, it feels like, and with a little bit of an attitude. And sometimes that attitude maybe has got him in trouble with his teammates a little bit. I guess the question remains, though. We know Steph Curry, no matter what he does now going forward, it's extra gravy. You should probably win some more championships. You're that good of a player, but you've won some. Now, some with KD, so be it, but you've won your championships. Russell Westbrook hasn't done that. We talk about Russell Westbrook in the regular season being almost ungodly sometimes, but then when we start talking about playoffs and and having to win those games, well, he hasn't won the big one yet. And to me, that will always be the knock on Russell Westbrook unless he figures it out.
Who you taking for the last 2-3 months of the season right now, Westbrook or Curry, if you could have one?
Kuz?
Oh, Curry, for sure.
I'm taking Curry as well.
No doubt.
Westbrook, and it's no knock on Westbrook. Westbrook doesn't necessarily have the shooting numbers percentage-wise. Like Curry's percentages are just always going to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think most people would take Curry on that question.
But at the same time, if you got to make that playoff run, and like you're on the bubble and you're trying to get in, I mean, do you rely on the grit of Russell Westbrook? Not to say Curry doesn't have grit, but you get the sense that Russell Westbrook is going to will his team some way to the playoffs. Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah, and I guess the counter argument to Westbrook, and you guys talked about it, about how he was, playing with Harden and stuff like that, is a lot of times you need that person next to him that's willing to be able to give up the ball, because Westbrook needs the ball in his hands, where Curry can still make a lot happen when it's not in his hands. The threat of Curry, even when he's out by the three-point line, opens things up a little more.
Yeah, he extends the court, no doubt. You know what's wild about this to me? Again, I take the numbers and the crazy stats and the triple-doubles and the threes and all that away, and that's why we're talking about them. But I still think, I look at the effort of those two guys, I'm like, man, that is relentless. Like, that's stuff you show your kids about. Like, look at the way that they play the game, right? I would say play the game the right way. Those guys play the game the right way. But I would also say this about the two. And tell me if I'm right or wrong, guys, but I think Curry, like, everybody loves Curry.
Yeah.
I don't get the sense that's been the case or is the case with Westbrook.
Yeah, it's
like,
the fashion.
He is more, I mean, I don't know about polarizing, I'm not sure, but I think he's less likable. Does that make sense?
No, you're absolutely right. And let's be honest, though. You never liked Curry with the whole mouth guard thing. That thing
well,
drove
I
you
did.
nuts.
Yeah, I had problems. I've come around on that.
Yeah, okay.
That was a me problem more than a Steph problem. I mean, Steph Curry, by the way, not Steph, my wife. But that was a me problem.
Yeah, it was.
But it was a problem. Like, I admitted it. Like, I mean, half the whatever of saying of rehabbing, just admitting that you have a problem.
Well, it's good that you admit that you have a problem, and I can't stress this enough. Steph Curry and Steph Curry's mouth guard are doing just fine without you being their fan. Now, with Russell Westbrook, no, I definitely agree with you. I think it's, sometimes that style of play where he essentially tries to put the team on his back, if you're not a fan of his, if he's not on your team, that can look like you're a little selfish, right? And when you don't get the calls, you start complaining a little bit, you start pouting, which he's done in the past, then yeah, people want to point the finger and say you're not that good, right? Or that you're childish and all that stuff. Now, the whole fashion thing, it happens with Cam Newton as well. Cam Newton sometimes gets grilled because of the fashion. I feel like Russell Westbrook is kind of the same thing. I don't hate on it, to each their own. If you want to peacock, then go ahead and peacock. Not going to lose any sleep over it, but I feel like the fashion, people can go against that as well.
I think one last thought about the NBA, which we don't really talk about very often, but it's wild to me the last couple of years, and I've said this countless times. The amount of stars in the NBA is amazing. Like, the NBA is in a really good place. I'll say this about Major League Baseball. You can say it about, I think, a lot of our professional sports right now, football included, but there are a lot of stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are a lot of folks. Like, they just don't need, back in the day, it felt like it had to be Magic Larry and Michael.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be. We just saw LeBron James sit out for a while, and here comes Curry and Westbrook, and you already have the Doncic's and Durant's and everybody else.
Not even going to mention Giannis. Back-to-back MVP, but let's not mention the Greek Freak.
But I don't
That's
feel
cool.
like Greek Freak's getting a bunch of headlines because everybody's forgotten about him after 2 MVPs.
Hey, okay. I mean, did you see the Nets stat line, though? Would he put up like 50 points?
I didn't say he's not playing. I know
49?
What did he finish with, 49?
I think it was 49.
He had like 45 with like 6.5 minutes to go.
He's like, oh, Kevin Durant, check this out. Yeah, here's 49 points for you.
So
Try to guard me.
But that's the point, right? It's like the NBA has just this depth of star right now that here with LeBron and Anthony Davis and that big storyline out, here comes Russell Westbrook and then Steph Curry turning it up a notch again. And
Embiid
Steph Curry,
as well. Let's make Kuz happy. Embiid is in there.
Listen, that's a great example, though.
No
but
big deal.
Embiid wasn't on that list and now is on that list this year, right?
He is.
So, I mean, I think that's what the NBA has going for them in a very good way. Kevin Durant sat out a whole year.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson a whole year. Steph Curry was hurt.
Didn't miss a beat.
For the most of the year, right? Yeah. Didn't miss a beat. And by the way, it was like through a pandemic too. But they had so much star caliber players that you can share the load a little bit. And I think that's what happens right now in the NBA.
Kuz, how are we looking for MVP? Is it still the Joker as the favorite?
Oh, it's for sure. So, we talked about the injury that the Nuggets went through with their star point guard, and we talked about how we were a little worried that the Nuggets would drop a little bit. Well, they went 9-1 after the injury. So Jokic, if he doesn't win, that's like a massive upset.
Okay.
I think the last part I'll say about this, because we're on the topic. In golf, everybody said, what happens when Tiger's done, right? Who's going to be the stars? I think there was that absence, even though we had good players, and then Kobe came along again, Jordan and the Larry and Magic era. And it's not like there weren't good players, okay? But it felt different. LeBron, I don't know how much longer it is. Whatever it is, it's probably still a couple more years. But it's almost like, don't worry, the NBA is fine. Now, you might not have the mega star like LeBron. I don't know if that guy is that guy Zion. I don't know. Is Curry still? Does he have enough left in the tank to carry some of that for a few years? Maybe. Yep. Is Durant that guy? I don't know. But they do
once again, I feel like Giannis should be mentioned in this conversation. Back-to-back MVP.
And so should Doncic. By the way.
Okay,
but,
Doncic too.
So maybe they do have that.
Yeah.
Guy. I don't know. I don't feel like any of those guys. I mean, LeBron kind of mega star is a little. It's a high perch, right?
Yep.
So, but the bottom line being, I don't think we have to ask that question. Like, if LeBron were to walk away tomorrow, the NBA is fine. It's kind of like if Tom Brady walks away tomorrow, the NFL's fine.
Yeah.
That's a good thing for a sport at the end of the day.
Kuz, from this crop of rookies, is it LaMelo Ball or Lonzo Ball? LaMelo, yeah. So rookie of the year, or what are they saying with that?
I wonder if he can talk himself back into it. I mean, he did miss a lot of time, but to that, with the play-in tournament, we are going to see the Hornets play a little bit more, and with these last few weeks. So he was out for a month with the broken wrist. He's already back. He came back the same night as LeBron did because the Hornets and the Lakers are kind of in a similar spot where the Hornets are playing to make sure they stay in the play-in tournament. The Lakers are trying to win enough to stay out of the play-in tournament because the West is so tight. So there's a way maybe he gets himself back in it, but I just feel like if you miss a whole month that you're not going to – it's kind of hard to still win that award, but there's nobody that kind of sticks out that would or should be deserving of it more than him, when you consider records.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But the NBA is in a good place as the regular season winds down. And
meanwhile, Zion's like Captain America or whatever. You watch that game with like the superhero-esque stuff?
No, but that's a good segue because Kuz brought that up on our topic list, and it is interesting.
Yeah.
Because it is Star Wars Day, right? So there's a Star Wars Major League Baseball broadcast coming up.
Yes.
Will we see more of that? Let's take
Brent's
a break on
so
the other
upset.
side.
Yeah, how mad are you about that one? You're so mad.
I'm not mad.
Trying to change my baseball around. I'm a baseball lover, and you're going to bring these Star Wars folks. Oh, I know you're upset.
I thought Kuz asked a really good question, so we'll ask it next. And walk-up songs still on the table.
Oh, I can't wait
Get
for this
yours
time ready to come.
And don't forget, Sixers' longest win streak in the NBA. No big deal.
Oh, good deal.
What are they in third or second? What are they in right now?
First.
Where do the Sixers play again?
They play
What's going on with that?
Philly. Oh.
Kuz, how's TJ McConnell doing, by the way?
He's doing fine. Pacers going to make that play-in tournament. We'll see it. We might have a TJ McConnell game.
Hey, though, didn't ask how the Pacers were doing. Asked you how TJ McConnell's doing.
He's fine.
What does that mean? Give me some stats.
He's doing good.
He's having fun.
Does Rick Smith still play for the Pacers?
I don't believe so.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 live from the ballpark. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp opener tonight, and you can hear it on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
May the 4th be with you. Happy Tuesday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Baseball is finally back in Duval as your Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp take the diamond at 6:50 tonight for their home opener at 121 Financial Ballpark. First pitch against Norfolk is at 7:05 p.m. Huge night for NBA legend Carmelo Anthony as he moved up the NBA's all-time scoring list, passing Elvin Haynes for 10th all time. And running back Rakeem Boyd was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Detroit Lions. The reason this is a big deal because he's one of the stars of the Netflix show Last Chance U, where players who have had problems try to rebuild their draft stock. Finally, the ex-NFL receiver formerly known as Chad Ochocinco is trying his hands at a new sport. Chad Johnson will be fighting on the undercard of the Floyd Mayweather-Logan Paul pay-per-view this June 6th. His opponent has yet to be named. The Sports Center Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
She's always been there for you with hugs, smiles, and an encouraging word. This year, show Mom how much she means to you with a gift from Beard's Diamonds.
Now through Mother's Day, save thousands on specially priced Diamond Mother's Day gifts.
Like 1.5 carat diamond studded earrings, originally $49.99, now sell priced at $32.49.
You'll save over $1,700.
Or a 1/2 carat diamond solitaire pendant, was $16.55, now sell priced at $1,075.
You'll save over $600.
Give your mom a 6 carat diamond tennis bracelet, not $10,080, but just $65.52.
You'll save $3,500, but only until Mother's Day.
See hundreds of other Mother's Day gift ideas at beardsdiamonds.com.
She devoted her life to giving you a great childhood. Now's your chance to show her how much you appreciate it.
Give her the very best from Beard's Diamonds and save thousands on specially priced Mother's Day gifts now through May 9th.
Get the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds.
In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
CGC Water has been telling you if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
You know what's good today? Arlington's Credit for Everyone program. If your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, Arlington's working hard every day and getting almost everyone approved. With over 300 pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs to choose from, Arlington has what you're looking for. So much selection. You also get a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Now that's good. Shop in person at 10939 Atlanta Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
I'm Josh Scobie, proud supporter of the Guardian Catholic School, where we believe that every child deserves access to a quality faith-based education. Grab your friends and join me for the 17th Annual Golf Classic on June 14th at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club. Play a round of golf to raise money for educational scholarships for deserving children in North Jacksonville. Become a sponsor or reserve your space for the 17th Annual Golf Classic on June 14th. Visit GuardianMillionDollarShootout.com or call 904-765-1920. Guardian Catholic School, faithful protectors of potential.
Spring is sprung, the air is warm, flowers are blooming, and the cigars are smoking. Cigars are smoking? That's right. Springtime means Stogie Fest at Aromas. A limited number of tickets are still available for the annual Stogie Fest event. Stogie Fest 2021 is May 14th through the 16th at Aromas off Southside Boulevard. Stogie Fest is for the cigar aficionado to the most occasional smoker. Join Action Sports Jacks at Stogie Fest Friday, May 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. for your chance to win a pair of Stogie Fest VIP tickets. Stogie Fest 2021, May 14th through the 16th.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Mirabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all of your events. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Mirabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
For the ones who get going when the going gets tough. And the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Welcome into the show, a name you know. If you've been listening and watching ESPN for a long time, I know you know him. We're going to call him one of the forefathers, if you will, of sports radio, Mike Greenberg.
Thank you. Forefathers is an interesting, that's a That's fascinating. Every day, as I talk to more people, I get older and older. So that's kind of funny.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahinte.
Where do the Knicks have to finish to get into the mix for an A-list free agent, a Booker, or somebody else?
If they make the playoffs and they show trajectory heading in the right direction, man, it's nothing like playing in a city with energy.
I mean, they're doing everything right. They're trending in the right direction. You can't say they're not.
Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio or streaming live on the ESPN app.
I'm going to break him in half when he gets here, so for not coming to Ohio State. Jay is great. Jay's from Utah. Obviously, I know those people out there as well, and I love Jay. I always have, and he is a guy that I think we're going to get a lot out of him. I know the D-line coach, Tosh, and I told that to him. I said that, having someone believe in you has got to be the greatest feeling in the world, and Tosh believes in him. We know him, Jay Tufele. So it was, that was one of those ones you saw him sitting there, and that's when we jumped at it.
That is Urban Meyer on Jay Tufele, defensive tackle out of USC. I remember Mel Kiper in the broadcast saying, hey, this guy's a second-round player if he doesn't opt out. Mm-hmm. And so Jags were not afraid of the opt-out guys, found some value in the opt-out guys, ended up getting him in the 4th round, I believe it was, for Jay Tufele. So we'll see. A lot of people like that pick a lot. We'll see what that translates into, what that looks like in the fall and in his career. Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We are at 121 Financial Ballpark. Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, minor league baseball all across the country opening up today. For the first time they've played since 2019 after a year off last year because of the pandemic, a month delay this year. So they're fired up here at the ballpark and at various ballparks all across the country. We're excited too. Partnered up with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp this year. You can listen to the games right here on ESPN 690, and that includes tonight at 6:50 is the pregame show. First pitch right around 7:05. So catch the ball game tonight on ESPN 690. If you don't have a ticket, because it's sold out. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp game sold out tonight, but tickets available through the rest of the weekend. You can win tickets on our contest page on ESPN690.com. We have the entire Action Sports Jacks team out here.
Yeah,
Weber
we're rolling deep
here.
right now.
Marcel Robinson was out here early.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you get a chance to come to the ballpark. In our business, you come to the ballpark.
Absolutely. I'm having a blast here.
I'm actually going to get a hot dog tonight. Like I said that to myself. I'm going to get, after we do TV, Fox 30 coming up at 6:50.
Yeah.
I'm going to get
I'm not going to lie.
Hey,
Stuart
Brett.
just said, I'm getting a hot dog too, but you're buying.
There's
So you have no choice.
Yeah.
There's some conversation on social as to you can't see it in the
giraffe.
Yeah, the broadcast, but Stuart's picture. Why is there a giraffe?
There is a giraffe next to us, and it's real.
Oh.
It's been very good most of the show. But
might be a little dehydrated, but it's doing good.
Sponsorship from the zoo.
Okay.
Didn't eat Austin's lunch.
Yeah.
No, actually, we just asked somebody here and said, what is the deal with the giraffe? Because we saw that floating around social media too. Mm-hmm. And people out here were like, no idea. So Stuart asked Scott Kornberg, and he said, what's the significance of the giraffe? He said, no idea.
No idea.
So there's just a giraffe there.
There's just a giraffe hanging out in left field.
The search continues.
And nobody really knows why the giraffe is here.
Okay.
But apparently it got lost.
Yeah.
And now it's found.
Probably from the
here at
zoo,
the
huh?
ballpark.
You think?
Like, I feel like it's one of those things that was at the fairgrounds, like when the carnival comes, or actually at TIAA Bank, and it got like left. And so they pulled it over here to the baseball grounds. Like, why would it be here?
I'm telling you.
There's no zoo sponsorship to this thing on it.
Well, maybe like they just got it from the zoo and said, hey, let's just put it here.
Well, it's the Tiki Terrace.
Okay.
I mean, that's what this
and?
is. Does that have anything to do with giraffes?
The last thing that brings a Caribbean connection is a giraffe.
I'm just asking.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going on with the Can we get some answers here, somebody? This is the biggest story of the day.
Do I smell a 30 for 30 on the mystery draft at the Jumbo Shrimp?
It's the Jacksonville.
What if I told you?
Why wouldn't they just put a big shrimp out here instead? If you hit the giraffe,
Well, can we get the owner over here or something?
Starting to drink. Shots for everyone.
Start using some of your manpower here, your credentials, and let's get the question answered.
We tried. It's a mystery
Yeah.
about the giraffe.
Huh.
Just because. Hey, walk-up song for you, what would it be?
Off the top of my head, I'd probably go with James Brown, the man.
Really?
Yeah. Pay the cost to be the boss.
I don't have a good one. I always
Let's
go with
go-
chicken fried here for Zach
Go ahead
Brown
and say
Band.
Garth Brooks something
Nope,
real quick.
Zach Brown Band instead. I always would go with chicken
Chicken
fried.
fried?
Kuz, what you got?
Can I do what is that? Was it center field? Put me in, coach.
Yeah, that's
I would
age
do that
old.
one.
That's a little boring, but it's fine.
I mean, you pick the most vanilla of all vanilla walkouts.
I mean, you can't go wrong with it either. I mean, it's a good
man.
baseball song.
I guess.
What you got, Weber? Barracuda.
Ooh,
By heart.
Barracuda.
There you go, going a little back in the day. The Star Wars broadcast tonight. Do you like the idea of these? The NFL did
Yeah.
Nickelodeon.
I love it.
We just had what else did we have? We just had another one.
Well, last night was NBA. It was Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Is this? See, I think this is a good idea, right?
Even
For
with baseball?
Well, I think it's a good idea for the younger generation.
Thank you.
Right? That's
Yep.
what the Nickelodeon thing kind of worked.
It was
I
awesome.
didn't watch it.
I
I
loved
didn't
it.
like it. Like, I
That's
mean,
cool.
I wasn't like, hey, I'm going to watch my games like this now.
Me and my son watched it. We had a blast.
But it's a great entryway to a younger generation. I'm
Yeah.
talking younger generation.
Yeah.
Will that work with the Marvel? Do you think it will work with Star? I'm not a Star Wars guy at all.
Sure.
So, like,
No.
this day means nothing to me in that respect.
I
but-
think it's going to work just because it gets a new group of fan involved, and that's what it's all about. There's still the option to watch the regular game if you want to, but if you want the Star Wars experience, tune in to ESPN2 or whatever.
Well, if you want the giraffe mixed with jumbo shrimp experience, just come out
Check
to
it out.
One Financial Ballpark.
Yep. Well, keep in mind, though, tickets are sold out.
Tickets are sold
Yeah.
out. But you can come out tomorrow, 1 o'clock game, or the rest of the week. Homestand is here to start.
Check your local listings.
Our local listings, ESPN 690, by the way. That's where you
Yeah.
listen to the game tonight.
Cool.
And most every night during this jumbo shrimp season. That's going to do it from the ballpark. A lot of fun today. We'll do it again tomorrow afternoon. Come join us at Monument Road, Cantina Louis, for Cinco de Mayo. 3 o'clock tomorrow, Monument Road, Cantina Louis. Have a good night, everybody. Jumbo Shrimp coming up in an hour on ESPN 690. It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special, too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury.